Peace, everybody. Welcome to the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. We do this every Tuesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. What's up to Twitch? What's up, Twitter and Facebook? Checking in with us on this Good Friday's Eve. I hope everybody's doing well. I am doing so. No, I'm okay. I'm just a little sleepy, guys. Like my rest keeps getting disturbed by my geriatric dog, and I would like her to stop. I would like her to stop waking me up at 3 a.m. For a variety of reasons. But we push. So we push. So we are going to be pushing right along here into this good program tonight. So I've got some stories in store for everybody. Plus, we got a couple of announcements coming up. I want to thank everybody that has our Will, do you have Ricky's GoFundMe on deck? If you don't, I can send it to you real quick. I want to thank everybody that has already contributed to the GoFundMe.
Please send
That
it.
I got to come in here. We may send it in Slack or
Yeah,
email.
please. Yeah.
Got you. Thank you. My bad, Will, for this rando on the spot announcement. But anyway, you guys are BPM viewers. Y'all know what time it is. So we have launched a GoFundMe to benefit Ricky Ryan. Now, Ricky needs a car. Okay. Ricky is an amazing organizer. She is a political educator. She is also a mama. She is also a daughter. Um, she also needs a vehicle living in this area. Okay, no, there is no bus pass that can help Ricky do the things that she needs to do and get the places that she needs to go. So I want to thank everyone that is already in less than a week. Everyone, this fundraiser has raised over $1,500. My mind is absolutely blown, and I want to thank y'all, fire famers. I know we got some people. Franny, I think I saw you on there. I think I saw Rosalba. Shout out to Leah Boggs. You know, the folks, the Fire Fam, the remixers, sirs, have answered the call and continue to answer it. So our goal is $5,000. The goal part is what is included in that goal is to get Ricky a vehicle at the auction, likely between like 2,500 and 3,500, give or take, right? Because she not only does she need something reliable, Ricky needs something that she herself can put a lot of miles on because she's gonna be putting a lot of miles on this here vehicle. So it's got to be, it can't just be the bucket, right? It's got to be a much upgraded situation for her needs. So but again, included in that, what I would call also an ambitious $5,000 goal, we want to get her started off with enough money to pay some insurance if the junk needs some light maintenance, some light repairs, trying to give her this vehicle as clear, free and clear as possible, right? Like, ain't shit wrong with it. She ain't got to take it nowhere to get it fixed or get it looked at. No, no, no. We want her to be able to start pushing this revolutionary ride as soon as she gets the keys in her hand. So thanks to everyone that has already made a generous contribution. Y'all are our first of the month all stars. So special salute to those first of the month check all stars. Now, some of y'all are going to be 15th of the month all stars, and I appreciate and respect that. You guys know I'm quite sensitive to the nature of the first of the month, right? Like everything is due. So I know some of y'all like, not this week, Kim. No worries. We are going to push this thing out till Ricky's birthday, or hopefully maybe sooner than that at the rate that things are going. So if you're going to be a 15th of the month all-star, all good. You know what I'm saying? We'll do this shit like public broadcasting. We will accept your pledge in lieu of actual payment until you ready to send that actual payment. So again, thank you to everybody to help Ricky Ryan get a revolutionary ride. Thank you guys so much. So what do I have on deck for you guys in terms of stories? Do me a favor, like the shit. I don't know. What's up? Y'all leave comments. Anyway, I'm a little bit drained energy wise. This week has been an emotional week ups and downs, highs and lows. It's like, oh, let me lay down. I need to go lay down. And I will be laying down. We're gonna take Tuesday off. Just a heads up. You guys should know that. So no show on Tuesday. But tonight I wanted to get into a couple of things. I actually misinterpreted a story. My second story tonight. I thought it was being reported as this was a police officer that did this. Apparently it is not. So let me correct myself before I even announce myself, but it's still a story about random acts of violence suffered by women at the hands of sometimes strange men. And I don't mean strange because they were violent. I mean, yes, include the strangeness in their violent behavior, but I mean literally unknown to the victim. Like, don't know this motherfucker from Adam. Why are you jumping on me? you know? And in this instance, this happened this week in Chicago, where a 71-year-old woman was attacked in broad daylight at Union Station by a 25-year-old man, and some bystanders intervened. I do want to get into that story and look at the shit because we live in wild times, and this is nothing new for women, but I need my ladies to start stabbing back. So let me say that. But I want us to start off with the latest or somewhat of the latest goings on in Israel, with the resistance from Hamas and Palestinians and the ongoing genocide done by the Israelis. And that continues to go on right now. Do me a favor, everybody, like the video, subscribe to Burn It Down with Kim Brown on YouTube. Consider following us places around the internet at BIDWKB. That's us on Instagram, Twitch at Burn It Down KB, on Twitter. What's up, Facebook? That's BIDWKB on Facebook as well. So, where should we even begin here? Because the atrocities continue to pour out of Gaza, as we know that the southern part of the country near Rafah, or in Rafah and all around Rafah, the whole country really, but everybody has been forced to evacuate to Rafah, and now here come the Israelis bombing refugee camps, bombing schools, killing over a dozen children, maiming hundreds of others. The relentless violence does not seem to abate in any way, shape, or form. So, what are we doing here? What is America doing? Well, punk ass Joe Biden announced that he has a three-part peace plan. Okay. The problem is, Israel don't give a fuck about your peace plan. Okay. Benjamin Netanyahu is ranting and raging like an unhinged mass murderer, right? He's giving big, not only I can't even he's giving big genocider energy, not fuck authoritarian, fuck all that shit. No, he's giving killer energy. He doesn't want to stop until every single person in Palestine is eliminated, and that there's no chance for the people to ever return back to their country. So, but the Biden administration is trying to push this bullshit peace plan that is already not leaving the pier, right? So I want us to look at some clips here. We're going to start with the coverage from Al Jazeera English. And we're going to look at succession of three clips. So the first one is going to be the spokesperson for the U.S. Security Council. Okay, part of the Biden administration. His name is John Kirby. John Kirby is trying to make the case that, you know, this peace plan could have a deal, and Joe Biden is here to lead the way. Okay. But that clip is going to be followed by some commentary from Al Jazz political analyst, Mr. Marwan Basharna. Yes, Bashara. Marwan Bashara is going to come back and let us know why John Kirby's statement doesn't make any sense. And then we're going to see a clip from a recent briefing at the US State Department, where the spokesperson there really continues to give Israel's rather version of the events where not only the refugee camp was bombed, but the school was bombed, killing 14 kids. The State Department continues to show deference and trying to give credibility to the way that Israel has been self-reporting its war crimes. I'm like, this person from the State Department just needs to go on to the IDF Twitter page and see what's going on in real time, because they are telling, the Israeli soldiers, they themselves are telling and showing and documenting with pride their atrocities that they are doing to the Palestinian people there in Gaza. So let's take a look at this coverage from Al Jazeera English.
The proposal that the president laid out on Friday is an accurate description of the proposal itself. It is an Israeli proposal, arrived at after intense diplomatic conversations with us here in the United States, of course, and our team. But it was an Israeli proposal. It is a phased approach. And phase one has got to start so that they can start to negotiate what phase two looks like. It's not that the Israelis haven't said they're committed to phase two. They're committed to a phased approach. But what the deal says is if you can get phase one implemented, then the two sides can start to talk about what phase two looks like and when it can start. And while they are negotiating phase two, that ceasefire will stay in effect beyond the 6 weeks. The United States will guarantee that we will work to ensure Israel meets its commitments. And the deal also says that Egypt and Qatar will work to ensure that Hamas meets its commitments as well. All that's baked into the proposal.
There was an Israeli proposal, basically embraced and expanded by the United States, then marketed by President Biden, and then somehow undermined by Prime Minister Netanyahu, saying that he will not accept a ceasefire with Hamas because he will not end the war until it achieves its objectives. President Biden is now putting pressure on Egypt, Qatar, and Hamas to accept a deal that Israel has not. And the Americans continue to talk about guaranteeing a ceasefire. But in all honesty, who trusts the Americans with the Israelis? On the red lines in Rafah, these red lines became green lines. Who can trust the United States when it talks about humanitarian aid anymore? So who can trust the United States to use its leverage with Israel come the next phase of this deal?
We've seen the reports on the ground. We've seen the videos from the ground. We've seen the claims that 14 children were killed in this strike. And certainly when you see, if that is accurate, that 14 children were killed, those aren't terrorists. And so the government of Israel has said that they are going to release more information about this strike, including the names of those who died in it. We expect them to be fully transparent in making that information public.
Oh, well, at least the State Department acknowledges that 14 children bombed in a school by Israeli forces aren't terrorists. Oh, but I guess them being innocent civilians is not enough to yank the chain on your out of control rabid dog over there in the Middle East. Not even enough to say something harsh or to condemn this latest atrocity committed by Israel, this latest instance in which children were intentionally targeted for murder, for execution. The brother in the middle who gave the second clip, Mr. Marwan, he said, no one believes the Americans. Of course, no one believes it. No one has ever believed them. He knows that. But for him specifically to allude to these atrocities in Rafah in saying Joe Biden's red lines are now green lights. Israel can't show anymore their depravity towards humanity. They've proven it thousands of times already. And it's obvious that with each of those times, the United States is never going to rebuke, reprimand, or do anything meaningful to stop U.S. bullets, bombs, munitions from falling in Gaza. Interesting also that the State Department acknowledges that these 14 children were not terrorists. So why were they targeted for killing? Maybe that should have been a great question. Maybe someone did ask that question. The United Nations, I think today, put Israel and Hamas on a so-called blacklist, singling them out for the way that children have been murdered by their military forces during the course of this war. And it's so cowardly to throw Hamas on the list next to Israel, as if, proportionality speaking, right? Israel has far exceeded the amount of children who have been killed compared to Israeli children killed by Hamas, right? It's shameful the way the international community is still both sidesing what's happening in Israel. Okay, we're the ICC. The ICC is going to issue these warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu and his defense minister and Hamas leaders. Oh, oh, so I guess if Hamas leaders turn themselves in, Netanyahu is going to turn himself in, right? Right. We know that's not happening. The amount of also continued support from not only the Biden administration for Israel and its ridiculousness, but the way that even members of Congress are trying to punish countries who autonomously are taking, albeit small, maybe inconsequential steps to show its opposition to the genocide that's happening in Gaza. You guys have heard of the Maldives? A place I would love to go visit, and doubt I will ever make it to the Maldives. But the Maldives is, I believe, what, an island nation in the Indian Ocean off of is it the Horn of Africa? Off of Africa's east coast. Beautiful place. I follow pictures of resorts from the Maldives. I said, oh, they have these gorgeous over the water bungalows all over the clearest water. Well, the Maldives said, well, hey, if you are an Israeli passport holder, no vacations for you here in the Maldives. No, we don't think we want open settler colonialists who are perhaps in support of an ongoing genocide. You know, we don't think y'all should be able to come to our lovely island nation and vacation. That's it. That's pretty simple. I don't think anybody has a human right to a vacation. I mean, yes, you have the human right to have time off and to not work. And hell, there should be maybe a human right to go travel. But if for a reason a country is not fucking with your country and they say you can't come here, hey, you kind of got to eat that, right? So a New Jersey congressman, and unfortunately his name escapes me right now, but I know he is a Democrat. Maybe our Jersey folks that are in the chat can school us if you could. A Jersey congressman has actually introduced sanctions against the Maldives for them using their autonomy as a nation to say who they want and don't want, rather, to come to their nation to visit. And the congressman said, you can't do that to white people. You can't sanction white people unless it's Putin and them. The only acceptable sanctions on whites in which other whites tolerate. You can sanction the shit out of Russia, but the rest of the whites, no. Speaking of the rest of the whites, guys, I want you guys to check out this clip. This was posted from Cuds News, which has been doing a really impressive and incredible job of documenting a lot of the horrors that have been happening, not only in Palestine, but also atrocities that have been happening to Palestinians, unfortunately, still living in places like occupied Jerusalem. So this clip that we're about to show is that we're about to show Israeli occupation forces attacking a funeral procession of a Palestinian youth. And this is not something that we have not seen before, by the way. This is part and parcel for how the settlers operate in terms of the levels of terrorism that they will rain down on Palestinians. Palestinians cannot even mourn their dead in peace without Israeli occupation forces showing up and with intentional deliberation fucking up the funeral. Now, this is reported to have happened at the Lions Gate in the occupied city of Jerusalem. This clip again from Quds News Network. Let's take a look at this. You know, there has been a lot of people not only on the ground in Gaza, but those that are stateside who are in touch with those in Gaza have said that even within Israel borders where Palestinians live, some of them live like they're in occupied Jerusalem. They said that the Palestinian folks who are not in Gaza proper, or pardon me, whatever the artificial line is, that these folks have been staying in the house. The Palestinians who live in the West Bank, right? They have been staying in the house. So for them to come out for a funeral, knowing that something like that was likely to happen, this is how dangerous it is. I mean, just in Gaza, in the occupied city, in the occupied West Bank, it's so incredibly infuriating to know that these like routine attacks on the Palestinian people, on their lives, on their bodies, on their lands, on their cultural sites, on their healthcare system, on their infrastructure, on their funerals. Like I don't know how anyone could not look at this and instantly conclude genocide. Like they are trying to erase the culture and the people of Palestine. And it's almost comical to hear the reverse being lobbied at Hamas or at Palestinians as a whole. Oh, they want Israel wiped off. They want Israelis and Jews wiped off the face of the earth. I haven't heard nobody say they want Jewish people wiped off the face of the earth. They want the people that's living in Israel to step the fuck off. They want them to go back to where they came from, which is Europe, which is Brooklyn, New York, which is all the places around the world that whites have been, with the exception of where Palestinians have been for thousands of years. They just want them to go back to where they was before 1947. Can y'all go there? Well, I want to bring a bit of sunshine to this darkness because resistance is happening. It's happening in the north along the Lebanese border. Hezbollah is out here giving the Israeli forces some work. And you guys may remember this. A journalist I think he's a journalist. I think he does several things. Ali Mortada, right? I had expressed the giantess of crushes on this Lebanese man who is on TikTok, absolutely talking his shit directly to Netanyahu and the Israeli forces. And he always begins his videos with the very best introduction I think I have ever heard. And it's so awesome and proper. But I had been concerned about Ali because I had not seen him post videos in a while. And in his older videos, he was openly, calling for IDF forces to come drop a bomb on him. And I said, oh shit, I hope that hasn't happened. And it hasn't. Ali has resurfaced on TikTok. And he's still coming with the heat. And I appreciate to know that he himself is doing well. But this man speaks with a confidence that I don't think that an opponent in a war would take this tone if they wasn't really putting in that work. If they was getting beat, yeah, maybe. I don't fucking know. I want you guys to listen, and we have 2 clips from Ali, so let's check out the first one.
May you have a very, very, very
Started from the
bad day,
beginning. You
and it
guys started
seems
from the
that you
very
are having.
beginning. Well,
Hello, my enemies. May you have a very, very, very bad day, and it seems that you are having a very bad day. You saw the fire in Kiryat Shmona, and also West Galila catch fire. Now Safad catch fire. So I have a little bit of advice. You can use this medicine, Mebo. If you don't have this medicine, you can use Bayafin. The smell is better from Mebo. And if you don't have this 2 versions of this medicine, there is an Iranian version of this medicine, but I don't know if it's gonna work on Israeli people. I don't know if Iranian medicine work on Israeli people. Anyway, if somebody of our enemies has a house that catch fire or a land that catch fire, we will buy it, even if it's burning. You can take money and go wherever you came from. Anyway, and you must tell your army, do not use the missile of the Iron Dome like this. Yesterday there is a missile of Iron Dome hit Naharaya and the building catch fire. Today a missile of the Iron Dome hit a soldier in Safad and he's injured. So you must concentrate. Tell your army to concentrate. I hope you have a very bad luck. Take care, ya Bibi.
he's dreamy. He's kind of dreamy out here. Whoa. I appreciate him saying about the Iron Dome maybe having some misfirings, because at the end of the day, guys, the losses that the Israeli forces are suffering, or the casualties, you're not going to see that reported much here in America. America wants you to think that Israel is I guess just stomping, and in some ways it is. But it's getting tagged right there back. And if not being tagged by Hamas forces directly, Hezbollah said, we got y'all in the north. Oh, you want to do something? Do something. I want to play the second video from Ali because again, these are his most 2 recent ones. I think he posted these in the last couple of days. And it's a confidence that's almost hard to articulate. I believe him, when he's saying that his forces are doing what he say they doing. I kind of believe him. Will, let's run that second clip from Ali Mortada.
You have a very, very, very
Start
bad
from the
day.
beginning. You gotta
Guys,
hit it from the beginning.
Hello, my enemies. May you have a very, very, very bad day. Guys, I'm talking to you from the beginning of the war. Don't threat a Lebanese. You are always making the same mistake. Today, Netanyahu was in the north. He threatened and he said that we are ready to go to a big war with Lebanon. He's not. But he threats, and the Lebanese people don't take threats by a goodwill. They have a very bad response to threats. Now you make them to kill 2 soldiers in Harfish. 4 are injured and a critical condition, and 20 injury. Don't threat the Lebanese. Guys, don't threat the Lebanese. Don't make them angry. it's very dangerous. So now everybody is living in the north to Naharaya. You are hearing the bombing in Naharaya now? You make them angry. Apologize to them and behave yourself. Behave yourself. Please, please. For your good. Take care, ya baby.
Whew. Take care of yourselves for your good. I believe that. That the rolling of that R had some weight, has some gravity to it. Listen, when a man is telling another man to apologize, dog, you need to apologize here because we're about to bust a cap in that ass. About to bust a cap in that ass. And listen, again, I don't know much about the Lebanese people beyond they have delicious food. Absolutely. The Lebanese have, that I'm aware of, I'm sure they have way more, right? But they have delicious food. And if the Lebanese mandem is coming through like Brother Ali there, shit, they got some fine men too who are apparently about that action. When he says don't threaten the Lebanese, I believe him. I believe him. I just, have a sense in which when people are either conveying the truth or their truth. I have a feeling that Ali is telling both, right? He's telling his truth and the truth also when he says that Netanyahu should not threaten the Lebanese. But let's turn stateside back real quick because it's getting kind of hectic out here. If you are putting out statements either calling for a ceasefire or calling for the support of the Palestinian people or calling for the Biden administration to get Israel in some kind of check. I don't know who yanked the NAACP's chain, but somebody apparently has. Will, can you put up the NAACP tweet for me? And yes, I will always refer to these as tweets because fuck X. We're not doing that. So, the NAACP recently posted this to their Twitter page, and it says, "It's one thing to call for a ceasefire; it is another to take the measures necessary to work towards liberation for all." Okay, and this was a statement put out by Derek from the NAACP at Derek NAACP president, right? And this tweet links to a statement. It says, read our full statement right here. That takes you to the NAACP.org website where this statement used to live. But now it appears as though the NAACP has taken this statement down. Will, could you pop up the other tweet, please, from journalist Arno Rosefield? Oh, pardon me, Mr. Rosefeld. Arno Rosefeld put this scoop out on today. The NAACP took down its statement calling for, quote, a permanent ceasefire, end quote, in Gaza and an end to weapons shipments to Israel. Oh, that's Bagheera. So they took this down late Thursday night. Now, it's interesting because this happened just hours after they widely promoted this statement, right? They promoted this new statement that they had, that they posted on their website, that they were advocating for a permanent ceasefire. They were also trying to ask or pressure the Biden administration to cease its weapons shipments. It was all good just a couple days ago, and now the statement is no longer on the website. That tweet that we just saw from the NAACP, as of this afternoon, it still remained on their Twitter account, but the link to the full statement is dead. What do y'all think, y'all? Y'all think Joe Biden or Corinne Jean-Pierre? Who made that call? Biden might have made the call himself, because I can hear it going something like, I've always been good to you people. It's coming out some version of that. You know what I mean? Like I stood next to Barack. How could y'all do this to me, NAACP? Wow. Wow, that's good, Will. Thank you. Who do you guys think got in the NAACP's hind parts, as it were? Who got in them hind parts? Because that is actually a very quick about face with no explanation. And I don't like to describe the NAACP as a co-opted organization. I guess that fits. Maybe, I mean, and I'm thinking co-opted from maybe the years of Thurgood Marshall in them, but mm, mm, it's kind of on brand for liberal black people, somewhat, bougie black people that see themselves, a bit elevated within the black community, like the NAACP does. It's a heritage organization. It's a legacy organization. But at the same time, very generational, right? Saying that you're down with the NAACP doesn't have doesn't necessarily hold the same sway with the kids in 2024 as it may have in 1964, 1974, maybe. So you're not winning no favors. You're not winning no friends in NAACP by stepping away from that statement calling for a full ceasefire and for an end to weapon shipments to Israel, because it's very obvious that the NAACP is basically an apparatus for the Democratic Party, for the DNC. They're basically a get out the vote organization, right? Oh yeah, they're gonna help turn out the vote for Joe Biden. But I guess that's all they can do. They can't advocate on behalf of Palestinians. They can't speak out against a genocide without being made to quietly walk those statements back. But you could take that down, Will. Thank you. Very interesting things happening stateside, everybody. Let me take a little break here, if I could. Thank you all so much for being here. I want to shout out to the folks that I suspect are in here. Like I said, Will, I'm not able to be in the chat, so if anybody sends any super chats, any financial support, please be sure to highlight them and shout them out. Or if anybody's got any announcements, anything they want to say, they can feel free to do that. Quick reminder. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Will.
Sorry. Shout out to the good people, the Hearts. Anna and Lorraine Hart. They donated. They can send us some super chats.
Oh, can you put them on screen? Put them on screen. Put the joints on screen.
Yeah, I put them on the screen when they put them up there.
Okay, but, cool.
Just support Chesters tomorrow. Welcome Fire Fan members. The link will be in the Discord and Patreon and the community tabs.
Yep.
We will continue the conversation Kim started on abuse. Yes, a good conversation. Hope to see y'all there. Shout out to the good people.
Thank you for that, Will. And let me shout out to Josh Ingram and shout out to Asa from Black Men Build. I was really touched by being reached out to by Josh in particular, and really showing a tremendous spirit of wanting to get into this issue and how we can even, for one, formulate the conversation, but take it even beyond the conversation. What are the practical applications of having this awareness of the prevalence of violence against women in the Black community? And I hate the caveat, but obviously it's not just the Black community. It's definitely not just the Black community. And shout out to our non-Black friends, but I'm Black. I worry about Black folks first. Everybody else falls in where they do, but I'm worried about Black folks first and foremostly, and then I'm worried about Black women. I'm worried about Black children. I'm worried about Black boys who have been harmed, who turn into men who continue to harm. Like, I honestly think there is a light at the tunnel. Like, I actually think we can get a hold of this shit. And trust me, it's important to overturn the systems of oppression. I suppose as capitalism go, white supremacy might fall, patriarchy might fall. The problem is I personally am not willing to wait for, the likely thousands, maybe even millions of women and children's lives that will be lost until we overturn systems. Like, I think we can actually start saving lives now by just pointing some things out to folks and even broaching the conversation. So thank you to Josh. Thank you to Asa. Shout out to Black Men Build and the work that they continue to do. And I look forward so much to engaging with these brothers more about that. So big up, big up, big up. Will, do me a favor. You guys, we're in times of need. And since we were just talking about Palestine, Molly has one of her buddies, one of her friends, her friend Jamal is having a GoFundMe. This is for Jamal and his 13 family members that are in Gaza. Okay. Now, Molly asked
Let's put it in
for.
the chat.
Thank you so much, Will. Jamal and his 13 family members are in Gaza, and they are hoping to cross at the Rafah border, at the border crossing there. Okay, when or if the checkpoint is reopened. Okay. Molly goes on to say, it says that the current costs are, does that say $5,000? That is absolutely bananas, unconscionable. That is inhumane. That is the most disgusting thing I think I've read. The cost is $5,000. Okay. And that's going to be $5,000 an adult per adult and $2,500 per child, plus visa fees. This is outrageous. So what Molly is helping to do is to amplify this money. They are trying to raise $60,000. Guys, I am so heartbroken that people still have to buy their freedom. And it's not, and then what? They get out of a war zone, and then what? They're refugees. Will has dropped the link in the chat. Molly asked that if we're able to get $5, she's not asking y'all to drop 10 racks on it. But if you got 10 racks, definitely put 10 racks down. But if you got 5 down, throw 5 down on it. Every little bit helps. So thank you, Molly, for making us aware of the plight of Jamal and his family in Rafah, trying to get through the crossing checkpoint and being gouged, extorted. Do you know how disgusting it is to charge people to get out of a fucking war zone, to get out of a genocide? Do you know how goddamn abhorrent that is? Who's in charge there? I'm guessing it's the US. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's the private security firm hired by the US to manage the Rafah border cross point checkpoint there going into Egypt. That is appalling. That is appalling and disgusting. I don't really know what to say beyond that. Send what you can if you can. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. Shout out to everyone that's watching us. If you're checking us out for the first time on YouTube, I might be this shiny regularly. I do get a little shiny. Y'all, I'm having my shit is going on, and it's not anything like major that I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna do? But like my AC unit is on the like crazy shit. It's like, oh, the hits keep coming. Oh, would you like to know what Bagheera woke me up with this morning? It's some number 2 here and there. I was like, oh Lord. And trust me, let me just get my little first world gripes. let me vent from my privileged first world perch here. especially compared to the shit that we literally just talked about. People are facing life or death things. My little shit is exactly that, little shit. Likely not even worth complaining about, but I just felt like a catharsis right there. So thank you so much. Do me a favor, guys. Like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, heart, whatever the things are. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown here on YouTube at BIDWKB, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram at Burn It Down Kim at Burn It Down KB on Twitter. So I got a little confused at the story that I'm about to tell you all, but I think I got it clear because I was not trying to come on here reporting erroneous information. I initially thought that the suspect in this case was police, but I believe I was mistaken. I think I just misread officer and offender. And I know many of my Fire fan members would say, well, Kim, what's the difference between an officer and an offender? Good question, Fire fam. I would say no difference. I would say no difference because the best criminals out here wear badges, everybody, and they are on the taxpayer dole. Funny how that works. However, the story still very much applies to the theme of things that I discuss here, and that is random violence against women. And maybe I don't discuss the randomness enough as I do intimate partner violence, right? But make no mistake, simply being a woman can sometimes be the only reason necessary to perpetuate an attack, okay? A physical attack. And in this case, on a stranger. Now, some might say, well, Kim, actually, in fact, men commit random violence against strange and unknown men all the time. They do. But it usually comes in the form of like a robbery, right? Like a man is going to run up on another man he doesn't know, never seen, and rob him, right? He's not usually just going to run up on him and start wailing on him or stabbing him. Like that usually doesn't happen. That like there when it comes to man on man violence, there's usually some pre-knowledge of the man, and even the same case with man on woman violence. The attacker is usually known to the victim, right? But I feel as though when it's stranger on stranger violence, that tends to result in the woman being the victim most often. And such was the case this week in Chicago. I believe this happened where we at Wednesday, the 5th of June, outside of Chicago's Union Station. And let's see, where are we going to start here? Actually, Will, let us, well, you can pop up, actually, let's just go straight to the video. Actually, because the article doesn't, I mean, well, you could throw up the article. Let me read the headline if you'd like. But it says California man charged with stabbing 71-year-old woman outside of Chicago's Union Station, CPD says. And the details about this case are pretty crazy because it's happened in broad daylight, right? And in all of the protect yourself women, here's what you got to do to keep yourself safe women, and all that fucking advice, one of the things that is usually at the top is don't travel alone at night. Don't walk around at night, I guess anywhere ever, women. And that is for the rest of your life. That is when you are a girl child. That is when you are a young woman. That's when you're a mature woman. That's when you're an old woman. You can't walk around at night alone because a man might attack you. So some real shit. Problem is, guys, this 71-year-old woman was attacked in broad daylight, like at lunchtime at Chicago's Union Station. It's a heavily populated, heavily foot traveled area. I'm sure this woman pretty much thought it's totally safe for me to come out here and walk my dogs and represent Woo in the middle of the day in Chicago near a popular area. But no, that was not the case. And I'd like for us to get into the story. Who is this here? I think this is CBS Chicago is who to attribute credit for this package. Will, can we take a look at the story, please?
Stabbing and critically injuring a 71-year-old woman is headed to court today.
The incident happened outside Union Station on Wednesday afternoon. CBS 2's Mugo Digwe is live outside the Layton Criminal Courthouse, where that suspect will appear before a judge a little later today. Good morning, Mugo.
Yeah, good morning to you, Dana and Ryan. So Chicago police say the suspect in this case, that man, he is facing attempted murder and aggravated battery charges. And here he is on your screen, 25-year-old Wilson Barreno. He's from Oakland, California. The victim, 71-year-old Arlene Rado, was walking her dog around 1:30 on Wednesday afternoon. Arlene's husband, Alan Rado, tells us that's when Barreno grabbed her from the neck behind, and he stabbed her 7 times in the neck, as well as several times throughout her body before running away. Alan says 2 Good Samaritans helped his wife after the stabbing. One of them even ran after Barreno and trapped him until police arrived. Alan spoke to our Suzanne Lemonnier over the phone. He says his wife is still in the hospital, but she is doing well.
She's able to get out of the bed. Fortunately, it didn't get any vital organs. It wasn't like her legs were cut or anything like that. It was mainly her neck and lower back. So she is in discomfort, but she is able to get around. She's sitting, matter of fact, right now in a recliner.
And the good news here is he says he expects she will be released from the hospital sometime today. As for the suspect, Barreno, again, he will make his initial court appearance later this afternoon. We're live at 26th and Cal. Mugo Digwe, CBS 2 News.
When I tell you that is a absolute bonkers story that happens with some frequency, maybe not as violent as a random man approaching an elderly woman at 1:30 in the afternoon, grabbing her from behind and then stabbing her 7 times in the neck. This woman is very fortunate to not only be alive, but not to have suffered any permanent damage from being stabbed in the neck 7 times by some fucking random ass 25-year-old who she's never seen before. I want to salute and say what's up and thank you to the bystanders. It didn't indicate in the package there whether or not any of the bystanders intervened physically, but it sounded as though they obviously did, but it didn't sound as I'm not clear whether or not hands was put on this suspect, right? I guess that's pretty much what I'm getting to. But the bystander, somebody cared enough to pursue this person, which again, whoo, I'm starting to have all kinds of conflicting thoughts about people intervening when they are witnessing violence on the street, because at first I thought I was with it, and now I'm not sure. Now I'm honestly not sure. But these bystanders in Chicago did spring into action, did pursue this person according to police, and was able to hold him, corral him, I'm not sure, detain him in some way until police arrived. That's incredible that any of that fucking happened. This is actually a miraculous story. This very easily could have ended in a murder. But Wilson Barea there charged with 3 felonies, including attempted murder, including assault with a deadly weapon, and I think another felony specifying a specific kind of battery on a person over the age of 60. I appreciate such a law being on the books in Illinois. Our elders need protection out here, guys. And that's another thing too. Anyone that thinks that, I don't know, how can I put this? Like only younger women are preyed on. That's definitely not true. Elderly people are a vulnerable group within our group, okay? And they are targeted for all kinds of crimes. Now, whether or not the victim's age played a part in the alleged perpetrator selecting her as a victim, I'm guessing it does. I'm guessing it does. And even when it comes to issues of sexual violence, elderly women are not excluded from that also. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I think about as I get older, right? Because your sort of default thinking would lead you to believe that, oh, well, I'm getting older, so I'm less hot or not as sexy, youthful, whatever the fuck, supple. I don't I'm not as whatever the fuck, insert random adjective here, as I was at 25, 35, right? So even though admittedly I do get less attention, thank God, from men on the street, which thumbs up. Appreciate that, fellas. Let's keep that going. I know that just because you get older don't mean that somebody would not come try it on some violent shit. Either straight up physical violence, as was the case here in this incident in Chicago, or so on some sexual violence shit. Unfortunately, female is on the menu for predators from infancy until elderly. And that is a sad reality of life that I even hate to think about. And I hate even more to say it aloud, but it is the truth. So even though nobody in the story seemingly was black, well, I don't know, the brother, I don't know what he was, Wilson Guerrero, whatever the fuck his name was, he looked browner than a motherfucker, so he might be Afro-Latino. I don't know. And I think the victim was a white woman. I need violence against all women to stop immediately. I need people, especially those that feel they may have some sort of predisposition to being violent. I need these people to reach out. Not to the police. Don't tell the police you're feeling violent, please come get me. That's probably a bad idea. But there are any number of mental health service numbers at minimum, or services either at the local level, the state level, or even at the federal level with the suicide hotline. What's the numbers for that? I think it's 899 or something like that. I think even if you were feeling homicidal, they would encourage you to just go ahead and give them a call anyway. Like they could probably put you in touch with the right people. Don't just call if you feeling, like you might commit some self-harm. If you think you might commit some other harms to people in your household, to someone on the street, to your baby mother or father, call somebody, say something. We have to learn how to respond. And listen, to be clear, this person, this man accused of stabbing this woman, he may have some mental health issues going on. Like, that sounds extra, right? No relationship with this woman, no knowledge, advanced, previous, at least not indicated, of this person, and he just stabs a stranger in the neck for no reason. That indicates some sort of mental health issue is going on. But just because you are having a mental health crisis, you can be misogynist also. Like, your mental health issue can exasperate your misogyny, therefore spurring you to attack the next woman. The next bitch that I see is getting this knife to the neck. It's all connected, man. It's all connected. So I want to send solidarity to that lady. And again, to all ladies, to all vulnerable folks, especially our gender non-conforming folks. It's Pride Month. Our trans folks out here. Head on a swivel, kids. Head on a swivel. The predators cannot be convinced not to prey upon us. And I'm using predators generally, broadly, widely here, gentlemen. I'm not saying everybody, but you understand what I'm saying. The predators, whoever they are, they're not taking it easy on folks out here. And it's imperative, head on a swivel and hopefully poke it in your pocket. I advocate for not only home self-defense in them streets. Get you a knife. That might be bad advice for folks maybe in New York City. I know that, which is wild to me, that carrying a knife on your person is illegal in New York. But fuck, it could be illegal in Maryland for all the fuck I know. But guess what? I don't care. Come lock me up. Because if somebody jump on me, they're gonna get something else. You understand? So I don't play them games, especially as a disabled woman, as a black woman. If you fall into either of those categories, or both of those categories, or lateral adjacent categories. You better put something on your person, put it on your purse, son, in your purse, in your pocket. I don't dig the mace shit because I'm always afraid I'm gonna accidentally squirt myself. So I don't do the tear gas. I'm here for that up close and personal action. If you close enough to me to put hands on me and to attack me, then guess what I'm close enough to do to you. And on that note, beloveds, we're gonna say good night. Bonsoir. I will see you at the Around the Fire Disability Support Chat. Thank you so much to Mama Lorraine, Anna Hart, Abby, everyone that has been dutifully coming to the Around the Fire Disability Support Chat for these past 2 years. I'm kind of blown away by it. I'm digging it. So thank you all so much. Shout out to our wonderful mods, Courtney, Lateef, Tyler, Chuck Diesel, if he showed up to work one day. Big up to all the Fire Fam, all of our remixers that have joined us as well. Please go support our channels that we like and support around here. Of course, Black Power Media. Shout out to Say Your Mind Podcast, Kalechi Okafor. Big up to Jordan Cheriton Status Quo has been doing some wonderful reporting. Please go check them out. Shout out to go subscribe to the Bro Diallo channel. Go do all the things, everybody. So thank you all once again. Will, do we have any other announcements, super chats, memberships, anything to announce? If not, we will say goodnight.
Just a new member, also. Old dirty kung fu. You would appreciate that one. That's why, I had to let you know about that one. But yep, thank y'all for supporting Molly and Ricky and all the great things that y'all do and tuning in, and you appreciate it.
Thank you, Will. Can I say this? On last Friday's show, like under the comments, Old Dirty Kung Fu, you left such a poignant comment. I am so appreciative that you decided to join the channel as a member. I was really, really impressed. Let me not just say touched, because I was touched by the shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be touching me and shit. But I was impressed by the thoughtfulness of what you had to say. So if you guys want to go check out what Old Dirty Kung Fu was saying, he got real deep with the shit, and I really appreciated that perspective and that take and that personal challenge that you issued to yourself in the context of these other topics that we were discussing last Friday. So thank you for that, Old Dirty Kung Fu. I appreciate that. All right, y'all, we gone. Don't look for us on Tuesday, kids. No show Tuesday. Kimmy's taking a mental health day, personal health, mental health, all the health days. I'm taking a health day. So no show Tuesday. We will see y'all back here Friday for Burn It Down with Kim Brown. And of course, join me next. I probably will do the morning. So yeah, maybe not too, definitely Wednesday and Thursday. I don't know about Tuesday. We'll see. But Remix Morning Show, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern. Please be sure to tune in. Y'all see me on there next week for that. But no BIDWKB next Tuesday. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Eternally thankful to Will and Molly for all that you do. Again, thanks to our mods, Lateef, Courtney, and Tyler. And we'll see y'all back here next Friday, y'all. Peace. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Thank you, Fire Fam. Appreciate you.